back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and here are my round 5 NRL tips for 2025. Look, round 4, a lot of upsets yet again. How many are we going to see this weekend? Because going off how the season has so far started, I reckon there's a good chance we could see another upset or two in round 5. So yeah, I'm always bracing myself to see another upset for the round of footy. But as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already to this YouTube channel. My goal of 5,000, I think it was 5,150 subscribers got cracked. So I appreciate all those new subscribers and new support to the channel. It means a lot. I guess the next main goal is to get to 5,200 subscribers. So continue to show your support, and it's greatly appreciated by me. But on to the round of footy. A couple of games to look forward to, I reckon. I think there's a lot of rivalries that are actually being played this weekend. Like the biggest one, Roosters and Souths at a call. That's huge. Then you got Manly Melbourne on the Sunday there. Titans and Dolphins have a bit of a history, not really like rivals, but they've had some pretty entertaining games against each other since the Dolphins have first come into the competition. So, I mean, there's a couple of big games, so we'll see how that all goes. But here we go. First game, Canberra v Cronulla at Canberra. Alright, Raiders versus Sharks at GIO Stadium in Canberra. So the last time these two sides played each other was actually back in February for the trial game at GIO Stadium. But I guess talking officially though, like an actual NRL game last year. But yeah, they've played it back in February, and both sides since pre-season, I guess, have looked pretty good in their sort of parts. Both sides are 2-2, I think, to start the year. Sharks are 2 wins, 2 losses, and the Raiders are 2 wins and 2 losses to start the opening month for the season. So, look, I reckon both sides are very similar, to be fair. Cronulla are definitely better overall, but Canberra, with their pack sometimes, if they turn up, they are a very physical side, and they really liken me to the Sharks in a bit, But, Canberra poor against the Cowboys last week, and Sharks, they were terrible. Alright, terrible's a stretch, but they were definitely off the pace against the Bulldogs, so it's going to take a fair bit for them to turn it around, especially away from Shark Park. But look at both sides. For the Raiders, Morgan Smithy's concussion returns, so he's back, and that means Josh Papali'i goes to the starting side, and Trey Mooney drops out. So Smithy's to the bench, for Papali'i to the starting proposition, and Trey Mooney drops out. A bit harsh on Trey Mooney, actually. I think Trey Mooney's been playing really well recently. I don't know. And as for the Sharks, Wendy Harodi comes into the senses and plays Kyle Ero, who's out with a hamstring. So Tom Hazelton also returns from a back injury on the bench, and Sifa Talakai will miss the game after entering the concussion protocols. So, this one's not easy to tip. I really do reckon that can go either way this game. But I'll tip the Sharks to bounce back. I'm not confident, because I can see a world where Canberra do win. But I'll back Cronulla because, I like the talent in their team, and I feel like they can't get bullied how they did against the Bulldogs 2 weeks in a row. I can't see it with Noah Blake in that pack, So I expect a big response by the Sharks this Thursday night. So, Sharks to win. I'll go Sharks by 12. First try scorer, give me Sam Stonestreet, and anytime try scorers for both sides. I'm going to go with Hudson Young, and for the Sharks, I'm going to go with let's go with Brendan Cora. 2 back rows to score, Hudson Young and Brendan Cora. How about that for a bet? So, Sharks by 12. Next up, it's the 6 p.m. Friday night game. It is the Panthers versus Cowboys at CommBank Stadium. So, both these sides are coming off a loss and a win. Cowboys secured their first win of 2025 against the Raiders at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, while the Panthers, just run down by a very energetic South side last Thursday. So, Penrith, they're in a bit of trouble, actually. I don't expect Penrith to be in the hole they are for so much longer, but the way they're playing, I just don't know if Penrith will, be a threat for the rest of the season. But no, they will be. I mean, I'm just saying stuff right now for no reason. But They'll be fine, Penrith. It's just right now they're in a bit of a rut, and I'm sure they'll be fine after a while. But looking at both sides for the Panthers, looking at their team. So the big in is Nathan Cleary. He's back this week from a concussion, so he starts at halfback with Casey McLean replacing Brian Toto, who's out with a hamstring injury. Scott Sorensen's absence with concussion sees Isaiah Papali'i moves to the back row, and Lindsay Smith starts at prop, and Matt Eisenhuth is the new name off the bench. As for the Cowboys, same 17 for Todd Payton. Griffin Neame has been named to play, but if he's out, I believe Tom McKaylee or Harrison Edwards will come into that Cowboys team off the bench. So, but yeah, no changes for the Cowboys. My tip for this game, look, I can see a fair few points being scored here. Like, if it's wet, then yeah, I guess it will be quite close, but a bit more or less points in that game then. But I think, yeah, if it's a dry track, I see a fair few points. Both sides' defence this year's been quite bad. So, yeah, I reckon, might be a fair few points. So, I'll go Penrith to win just because of Nathan Cleary and because it's Isaiah Yo's milestone game. I can't see Penrith losing in that sort of situation. They could, but I can't see it personally. But in saying that, I couldn't see Penrith losing 3 in a row, so they could lose 4 in a row, but I don't see it. So I'll tip Penrith to win by 6 points. First try scorer, going to go with Casey McLean, and anytime try scorers for both sides, Isaiah Papali'i, and for the Cowboys, I'll go Rob Derby, but Penrith to win. All right, next up, the main game on the Friday. It's the biggest rivalry in the competition, in my opinion. It is the Rabbitohs versus the Roosters at a core stadium. What a great game this will be. The past few seasons, Souths haven't been great, and Roosters have been, I guess, winning games and being on top of the ladder, etc. But how the tables have turned, Souths are now playing great footy under Wayne yet again, and are right back up there in the 8. And for the Roosters, well, they are struggling because of who they've lost, and they just seem to be, one of those sides this season that might be in for a long season potentially. I know that it's only round 5, but the way Roosters are playing so far, it's not looking great. So, but yeah, long year to go though. But yeah, great rivalry this one. I expect a few fights hopefully, and let's hope it's a big one, eh? And for the biggest reason why it's big, yeah, we know why, and I'll read his name any second. But looking at both sides, so the good news for Souths and Jai Gray is that Jai Gray keeps his spot at fullback, which I think he has to. Leading Daly M, quite incredible for a guy that hasn't played much first grade, but he's right up there on the Daly M leaderboard, leading. That's incredible. But that means the return of Latrell Mitchell is back through the centres. So great fullback, Latrell centres. I don't mind that. Latrell's a great centre. We've seen how he played for the centres in their centre position for the Blues, the past couple of seasons in Origin. So, he knows that position inside out. On a comp there, so he'll be fine. So Isaiah Tass goes to the wing to replace Alex Johnson with a rib injury. Lachlan Hudner's back from suspension. He goes to lock with Talis Duncan going to the bench, and Lee Blank goes to 18th man. And for the Roosters, Connor Watson concussion and bench forward Celestia Foketsi are both back for the Roosters. So Zach Docker-Clay goes to the bench, and Hugo Savala makes way. Lindsay Collins has been named to start at prop with Spencer Lino going to the bench. Nat Butcher takes over at lock, and Victor Rowley out with a cheekbone. All right, my tip for this game. Look, I think Rabbitohs win, honestly. I think Souths win the rivalry game this one. Roosters obviously got them last year twice, but this time I think Souths get their revenge and win on Friday night. So I'll tip Souths by 10. Let's go first try scorer, Makali Ravalawa on the wing, and anytime try scorers, guys, I've got to back him. Latrell Mitchell against his old club, looking fit and fired up. Go back to Trell. And for the Roosters, I'll go with Dom Young to score a try. But, I have Souths taking over the win in this rivalry game. Guffer versus Para and Lomax versus Dragons. Wow, what a game this will be for that reason only. Eels versus Dragons at CommBank Stadium, the first game of 3 on Saturday. Look, form-wise, Parramatta have been, not great, and Dragons have been up and down until that win against Melbourne last week. But yeah, I guess the whole Zach Lomax playing against the Dragons and Gutho versus seeing a club he's been at for such a long time, the Eels. Yeah, I guess that's why the hype's there for this game. But yeah, we'll see how this one pans out because Parramatta lost to my boys Mealy last Sunday, and Dragons, yeah, very impressive against Melbourne Storm, very impressive. So good on the Dragons actually. But getting into this game, looking at both sides. So for the Eels, Dylan Walker joins the bench for his first Eels game, so that's a good signing there by Parramatta. Luca Moretti will join the bench and play his first game of the season. So Charlie Guy drops out. Riley Smith has been named to start a hooker in place of Joey Lussick. And Bailey Simonson is named among the reserves. For the Dragons, Emre Gula's 3-game ban sees Toby Couchman join the starting side in the front row alongside David Clemmer, who plays his second game for the Red V, and Blake Laurie has been added to the bench, and Matt Feagai is 18th man. Yeah, very interesting game, this one. Very hard to pick, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dragons were great against Melbourne, but we know they can't always keep that same form up, whereas Parramatta have been just awful. So, I don't know. I'm going to tip the Dragons. I'll go Dragons by 8. No confidence at all because I really do reckon Parramatta can win, but I'll go Dragons due to just, I guess, more trust in them. So, I'll tip Dragons by 8. First try scorer, let's go Josh Adokar. And anytime try scorers for both sides, I'll go with let's go with Sean Lane to get another try this weekend. And for the Dragons, I'll go with Val Holmes, but Dragons to win. Next up at 5:30, it's the Titans versus the Dolphins at Seabus Super Stadium. So no rivalry, but I guess like I said, these two sides have had some great entertaining clashes in the past. So yeah, in the past, like these two sides have always scored a lot of points against each other, so could be the same case this Saturday, who knows. But the Gold Coast as of recent are playing great footy, very strong way of playing so far, so we'll see if Gold Coast can keep that up for the long run. As for the Dolphins, like Parramatta, haven't been in great form at all. 0-4 start of the year. When's their first win coming? Because who knows. But looking at both sides, for the Gold Coast Titans, Jalen Jolliffe is back after missing 2 games out with a calf injury. So Sean Mullany joins the bench for his NRL debut. Chris Randall will start hooker in the absence of Sam Verrills with a hip injury. Isaac Fa'asu-Malawi ankle is also sidelined. So prop Josiah Pahulu is listed among the reserves. So a couple of changes in the forwards there for the Gold Coast. As for the Dolphins, 1 change only. Max Plaff moving from the second row to lock with Tom Gilbert suspended. So Corneli Lemuelu returns from an eye socket injury in jersey 12. So that's a good info there for the Dolphins. My tip for this game, not easy, but I'm going to tip the... Alright, look, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tip the Dolphins to get their first win of the year. I know Gold Coast are in very good form at the moment and looking pretty sharp, but I don't know. I think Dolphins will get desperate eventually and a win's coming their way. I've been nice to Dolphins so far this year. I've really backed them in a few games actually, but haven't got the win at all. So disappointing me, Dolphins. But Finns to win. I'll go Finns by 2. First try scorer, going back in Jack Bostock, and anytime try scorers going with Tony Francis for the Titans, and for the Dolphins, Jamal Sarko. So Finns for their first win of the year. And lastly, closing out Super Saturday, it is the Broncos versus the West Tigers at Suncorp Stadium. So Broncos looking good, looking pretty, focused on how their season's going so far. Bounced back big time from that Raiders loss in round 2. So since then, they've been quite good, the Brisbane Broncos. For the West Tigers themselves have been great so far this season. Have definitely brought a new mindset to the table, the West Tigers. But without their main man, Jerome Luai, this weekend, it's going to be tough because, Luai's been a big impact on a lot of Tigers' wins so far and form for 2025. So we'll see how big of a loss he really is, Jerome Luai, for the West Tigers. But yeah, looking at both sides, and yeah, it's Madge versus the West Tigers too. So yeah, for the first time since the Tigers sacked him. Looking at both sides, John Ricky suspended, so Brendan Piakuro moves into the starting side, and Jaden Hunt joins the bench for his first NRL game of the season. And Tyson Smithy is again 18th man. For the West Tigers, Latu Fine, who takes over at halfback with Jerome Luai's 1 game suspension. So Adam Dewey stays in the centres despite suffering a groin strain. Jack Bird reverts to the bench, and teenager Luke Lowry comes on the wing for Solomon Fatapo, who is dropped to the reserves. Look, Tigers, great form recently, been playing really well, but the fact that the Broncos are playing this well, and the fact that the Tigers have the youngest halves pairing in the comp with a lot of potential, but they're versing the most experienced halves pairing in the comp with Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds. Yeah, I can't see them losing to a young halves pairing, both Reynolds and Hunt. So I'll go Bronx by 16, 13 plus. I'll go first try scorer. Jesse Arthurs, and anytime try scorers, I'll go with Brendan Piakura in the back row, and for the West Tigers, I'll go Sneer Taruva. But yeah, Broncos win well. Moving on, the big one on Sunday, it is the Battle of Rookie, Manly versus the Storm. A great rivalry that has been going on for, I guess, since the early 2000s, when these two sides played in grand finals and played many big games and whatever. So it's a lot of history between these two sides. And I know since the decades have gone, like, the teams have both changed, like the same players aren't there. So it's not exactly the same feel it used to have, both Manly and Melbourne. But as of recent games, though, it's been really entertaining, and a couple of big fights in every game that these two sides have played against each other over the last few seasons. So I could expect another one this Sunday. Who knows? But yeah, Manly and Melbourne, bring it on. I'll be there as always, and I'll be making a poster for this game too. But looking at both sides, for Manly, Tom Trbojevic obviously out with an MCL, so that means Lehigh Hopewadi goes to fullback, being the great replacement he is. So Clayton Falalo comes on the wing, replacing Lehigh. Nathan Brown starts at prop in place of Josh Aloye, who's expected to miss a week with a shoulder injury, and Taufafala Sipley joins the bench as well. For the Storm, Jerome Hughes is listed among the reserves. That scares me, because if Hughes plays, it's going to be tough, but may not play as well. But yeah, he's coming back from a hand injury, so Tyron Wishart is still the halfback for the Melbourne Storm for now. Prop Lazarus Valepu has been named on the bench in place of Marion Seve, and that's the only change for the Storm side that lost to the Dragons last week. Yeah, look, very easy on who I'm tipping. I know we look a bit weaker without Turbo in the team compared to the Storm, but look, I'll still back us no matter what. It's at Brookie, Sunday Arvo. We love home. We love defending the fortress. Yeah, got to back my team here no matter what. So I'll tip Manly to win by 4 points, but if Melbourne won, I wouldn't be shocked, because Melbourne are Melbourne, and they don't often have 2 losses in a row. But yeah, it's at home. Manly play well at home, so why not give us a shot, and I'll back us to win. So yeah, Manly by 4. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Ruben Garrick first try, and anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with, let's go with Jason Saab for a try, and for the Melbourne Storm, I'll go with Will Warbrick for a try as well. But yeah, Manly by 4. Come on, boys. And lastly, rounding out round 5, it is the Bulldogs versus the Newcastle Knights at Accor Stadium. So yeah, the Bulldogs in great form, 4-0 to start the year. It's their best start since 1990 something, I think. I read on Fox, but yeah, great form by the Bulldogs so far. Very good start by them, and let's see how long they keep that winning streak going for, because yeah, it's a pretty impressive winning streak if you ask me. As for the Knights, look, Newcastle have been good to start the year actually. Apart from that loss to the Gold Coast Titans, they have overall been quite good, sitting okay in the ladder. But yeah, I guess they've got to bounce back against the Dogs this Sunday at a call. So we'll see how they go. Looking at both sides, for the Bulldogs, with Cecilia Tupanua serving a suspension, and just in the last few seconds of the game too. Damn it. Very unfortunate for Tupanua to be missing a game right at the end of that Sharks game. That's why he's suspended. So must be kicking himself right now. Tupanua. But that's all right. Curtis Lauren comes off the bench, and Jacob Carraz is listed among the reserves, and he should be able to play Carraz. So big in there for the Dogs. And that's the only change there for the Dogs. Looking at the Knights, one change also. Leo Thompson returns from a knee injury, pushing Brodie Jones to 18th man. So Leo Thompson versus his future club, the Bulldogs. Interesting. My tip for this game, I'm going to go with the Bulldogs to win. I can't back against them. They're just playing great footy at the moment, and it's very hard to, knock them down, especially in the form they're right now. So I'll go the Bulldogs to win by 10. First try scorer, give me Marcelo Montoya. And anytime try scorers, let's go with Jacob Preston in the back row. And for the Knights, I'll go with Bradman Best. But Dogs in great form. I see them going 5-0 to start the year, which would be something. But that right there is my round 5 tips for this weekend. Hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And good luck to all your teams this weekend. Go Manly.